YouTube, good morning. It is Thursday, June 21st. It is a busy morning in this household. My girlfriend is on her way to Calgary for a bodybuilding competition. She's not competing today, she's competing in a couple days, but she's flying out this morning in a couple hours. So, lots going on. Let's get into the news, actually, because I haven't done it in a hot minute. Gosh, sad days. Gonna update that record or get rid of it, one of the two. Never mind. I was looking at my Forex journal. I was looking to update the record, but I'll probably do that after for the next one. Anyways, let's get into the news. We have the British pound dropping CPI, so inflationary data. It is 8.7%, which is not good for the British pound. Well, it's not good for inflation, but would suggest that they're having troubles controlling their inflation, which means the Bank of England is likely going to have to maintain or raise interest rates. So in terms of what that means for the actual value, it's probably pretty bullish. That's sort of my estimates. The news today, we have the Canadian retail sales as well as Powell testifying, and that could be very volatile in the markets this morning, but we will see. Alright, let's get into it. Interesting. So, GBPNZD hit stop loss. Very sad days. NZDCAD has hit stop loss. Those are another couple losers to add to the month of July. Some of the trades we were looking at the other day, from yesterday, EURCHF kind of still going sideways, came down a little bit, but it started to come back up. NZD kind of similar. So, not much of an opportunity on those two, seeing as neither of them came down to the area we were hoping for, but that's okay. Let's get into it. AUDCAD, nice precipitous drop here. We could probably expect price to continue a little lower, and if it comes back down, probably get into a sell here, but that might not happen for a little while. The hourly charts, or we may be expecting that to happen over the next couple days. CHF, not super keen on this guy. Not much market structure is formed here. AUDJPY, this one's interesting. I think of the yen pairs, he's definitely not one of the ones I'm super keen on getting into. I think we'll continue on and we'll compare the yen pairs as we see them. Remember, I'm just going through this alphabetically, hence why I generally always start with the Australian dollar. Not generally, why I always start with the Australian dollar. On NZD, again, not seeing much here. AUDUSD. USD, nice break of the trend line. Prices started to come down. Similar to AUDCAD, makes sense. Probably a very correlated pair. As price continues down, if it pulls back into this level, we could be looking to get into a sell. Similar to AUDCAD, so what we're looking for is to make significant new lows and then price to come back up, and we would get into a sell at this point of interest. CADCHF, not particularly. We've got equal lows, equal highs. Kind of looks like we're going sideways. CADJPY, we were kind of hoping price would come down a little lower to the 106, 105.5 level before continuing higher. That still could happen, but would not be super. It would be a lot less keen on getting in if it's making lower lows and lower highs on the way down instead. CHFJPY. Nice little rejection at these previous highs from November, I think, is what we saw. Let's go into the weekly. Oh wait, no, all-time highs. Sorry, wrong pair. Nice all-time highs. Bit of a rejection. It doesn't mean going short up here is the best idea. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still lots of movement to the downside, but you're better off waiting for market structure to form some lower lows, lower highs, and then trying to get into a sell instead of just selling with the hope that that's the lowest it goes, or that's the highest it goes. Not much on Euro AUD, definitely selling pressure here. We've got some lower highs, we've got some lower lows, but the sort of dynamic of this is quite large. What I mean is, this is a nice point of interest here, but not much of an opportunity. Like, where would you put your stops? You could put them here, maybe still target 2 or 3 to 1 on the way down, but there's still plenty of opportunity for price to go up before coming back down, so not super keen on that guy yet. EURCAD, again, price is continuing up, but we have these lower highs, so would like to see some increase in price direction. What I mean by that is either a breakout above these highs or a breakout below these lows. EURCHF, still monitoring, still have the alarm set. If he crosses down here, still think he'd be good for a buy. EUROJPY, very strong right now. Probably other yen pairs that are probably better to trade. EURGBP, interesting. So really big. So the news definitely strengthened the GBP and then just absolutely crashed it. So I'm kind of curious as to that effect. EURNZD, similarly, price seems to have taken off without us. That's okay. EUROU, big break. GBPAUD, a little bit of market structure forming here. We do have some higher lows and some higher highs. But it's a very awkwardly shaped market structure. So I don't know how keen we would be to get in on this. Monitor it for sure, but yeah. So anyways, we got big move up on the release of the data, and then a hard rejection at the British Open, or the London Open, Jesus. So kind of interesting. GBPCAD, I think that was kind of where we were looking to sell, but completely outside of our hours. I was passed out at that time. Very much sleep. Cruising some of these guys. GBPCHF, big move down, started to come back up. Not at a very respectable level anyways. Okay. Sorry, I should vocalize these a little bit better. So GBPNZD, he's reached back up to these highs. We kind of got stopped out on this big wick up before it rejected back down a little bit. Market structure is just kind of going sideways at this top level. I do anticipate price will start to drop at some point, as it typically does. But that may take a while. It may actually start to continue back up higher to the 2.1 level. GU, nice huge price movement here. Price probably come back to the 1.265 level before continuing higher. Wait for market structure to form. NZDCAD, this descending wedge has formed back down here. I do still think price will break out above this wedge and continue towards the top of this range at some point. NZDCHF. Also a descending wedge pattern, but sticking well within this trend line, or respecting this lower or descending trend line quite well. Probably looking for a sell on that guy. NZDJPY. Nice move up, but not super interested. NU, same thing, not highly interested. USDCAD, not much. USDCHF, JPY. This one's a bit more interesting, just because of the way the market structure forms. You definitely have a better structure of higher highs and higher lows forming on UJ than on some of the other pairs. Lots more opportunity with pullbacks. However, we're just going to continue to monitor here. Wait for price to possibly break above this previous high, and then as it comes back down, we get into a buy. Not much I'm seeing for US 30, 100, or 500. I would say they're still bullish, they're still buys at this level, but we'd wait for price to come down. Big sell-off on golds. Kind of hoping it doesn't just completely drop off the map here and starts to come back up. Rallies in this little zone before coming back down. Forms a bit of market structure. It gives us a little bit of an idea of some key interest levels. Key levels of interest, sorry. Alright, we're gonna bull through these guys again on the 5-minute. Actually, we're gonna go to our pairs and we'll see what's going on today. So all the yen pairs are significantly up. But I would say out of all of them, NJ is probably the one that's the most tradable through a purely market structure point of view. So if price were to come back down, we could get into some key levels here, here. Those are sort of our key levels we're thinking maybe we could get into. Alert, good. Alright, so what else? So what I'm doing, again, I think I've explained this in previous ones, but if you can see how I've got my symbols here. I've got everything organized into little baskets so I can quickly see what the momentum is like for a single pair for the day. So I can see that the JPY pairs, they're all green. They're all up between almost 0.9 and 1.5%, which is a significant amount. And then I have the JPY basket so I can sort of correlate some values. That looks fucking strange. There we go. So it just lets me know that the yen pairs are very, very tradable today. Like, they're very bullish, so I should be looking for a bullish trade. And then I can continue down. If I see mixed values here, then I'm not super keen. It's when I see very unidirectional values. So the euro, there's some mixed values. I'm not super keen. You have some in the negative, some in the positive. GBP pairs, you have some mixed values. CHF pairs, mixed values. The Australian dollar seems to be pretty weak. Yeah, seems to be pretty weak today. So that could be something we also investigate into and see if we can't apply some market structure to any of these guys. They're floating anywhere from 0.1 to 0.6, so definitely not as strong as the yen pairs, but something. And we can see if we can find some market structure. So on a quick initial assessment, I'm not really finding too much market structure that I think is very, very tradable. Again, strategy is pretty simple. Looking for stuff just like this, be able to connect a trend line to a couple pieces. You've got a high, you've got 1, 2, 3 points to the top of the ascending trend line, you've got 1, 2, 3 points to the bottom. Connect some sort of level of point of interest where you've seen rejection multiple times, and then as price comes down here, you look to get into a buy. The issue with this one is where you put your stop. Like, you could put it for a couple, like 20 pips, and then get stopped out. That would have sucked. Or put it a little lower, give yourself some breathing room, but then your risk reward, you either have to take a higher profit area or you have to settle with less profit. But that's just a quickie for the lower time frames, what I'm looking at. Again, on second glance through, maybe AUDCHF. Again, not too keen, just because the only really valuable point of interest I can see is up here, and if price comes up here, it's breaking well above this trend line, so I'm not super keen on taking this entry. So we're probably going to scrap the idea of trading one of the Australian pairs, and then last pair is the New Zealand. And that looks like a mixed bag, so we're going to kind of ignore that. So the only real pairs that we'd want to focus on are the yen pairs this morning. UJ's had a nice break, clean move up. CADJ's had a very significant move up. They've all just had these big bullish moves up. Move up. I don't know. With, I would say, NJ making the most sense to trade, just because it's the one that's pulled back the most during its move climb up. I think. Maybe I could be lying. AUDJ looks pretty good in that regard too, but something about NJ just looks a little bit better. Okay. That is it for today. My education session is literally just about what I talked about, and that is trading pairs as an entire currency instead of a single pair. There are many people that are very successful trading a single pair. They'll just trade the EURUSD, and that's all they'll trade. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just I think the Euro USD stands alone as it is one of the most highly traded and liquid pairs. But let's just say something like GJ. A lot of people like to trade GJ. It's something they'll trade. It's just specifically on its own. And I do feel like GJ can benefit from trading with correlations. And whether you trade it, and whether you specifically trade GJ with these 6 other yen pair correlates, or whether you trade it with the JPY basket, you probably want to trade it with correlations. Just because they can provide you better bias in the market. So for example, I've seen people who are like, oh, I think GJ is going to be a short sell today, when the entire yen pair is like, the entire yen basket's super bullish. Well, if the yen pair was super bullish, then GJ would be a sell. But you know what I mean, I hope. Because the JPY basket is inversely correlated to GBPJPY. But like if, say, the JPY basket was super bearish, and people were like, oh, JPY is shaping up, like the market structure looks like it's going to be a sell. You would look at the correlation and be like, well, all the other pairs are very, very bullish today. Unless you have specific fundamental news as to why GBPJPY is different than the other ones, it's probably also going to be very bullish today. Because a lot of these pairs are incredibly correlated and they don't trade independently of each other. That's it for today. Cheers, thank you. I will see you all tomorrow, and then I'm not signing in on Friday. Friday I'm flying out to join my girlfriend for her show. Pretty excited about that. She has been prepping for 9 months, folks. 9 months to step on stage, and it's exciting. It is very exciting. I'm super proud of her. Anyways, see ya. Peace.